Hi everyone, so I'm back with week 48, and for this week I'm using the Cartabella Bon Voyage collection because this is the week we went to Florida and the Bahamas. So it was predominantly about the Bahamas. We flew to Florida to pick up the cruise. We only had like a day, 2 days in Florida, so we didn't really do too much, but we did manage to get to the Kennedy Space Center, which was a massive thing for Joe. We actually changed the cruise. We were originally looking at going from Miami, but to stay in Miami is very expensive. So then when I saw that they also did this same cruise from Port Canaveral and you could go to Kennedy Space Center, I thought it would be ideal because one, it was cheaper, and two, we get to go to the Kennedy Space Center, which Joe has always wanted to go to. So it worked out really well. So yeah, so we landed on the Saturday evening. We just got some food, and then on the Sunday we got up. We already had a car. We picked up the car from the airport and we headed over to the Kennedy Space Center. We were literally there all day and we still didn't get to see everything. So we will be going back at some point whenever we are in Florida again. And that part, we will go back to do the rest. But we did as much as we possibly could. So I've just got two photos from the Kennedy Space Center. One is this one that's in the middle, and it's of the rocket garden. And Joe is in that photo somewhere. He's just very small. And I'm just using these wooden alphas just to put KSC for the Kennedy Space Center, just in that space where the empty sky sort of thing. So that's going to go down the bottom. The washi tape that I'm using is like it's just a clear, sort of clear washi tape that's got some like cruise emblems and stuff on there, just to obviously go along with the cruise theme. This collection is a bit of an odd one because it didn't really come with many cut parts, whether I forgot to order certain ones or they just didn't have them. They didn't have any 6x4s or anything like that. They predominantly were 3x4s or smaller, so I just had to work around that a little bit, but it was fine. I got to use up the collection, and yeah, it's just nice to use a cruise collection really, because obviously not being able to use those. And obviously I'm just going to use some of the stickers dotted around on there as well. The second photo is of Joe with one of the rockets, basically, when we went to go see the Apollo part of the exhibit, and it was amazing. I really loved the Kennedy Space Center. I thought it was amazing, and it was so well done. It was just so big. Basically, you do need 2 days probably. We were there literally from opening hour to closing hour, so yeah, it's huge. And obviously if you want to read everything like we did, you do need time. So yeah, so it was lovely. So that's what we did on the Sunday, and then we came home, went back to the hotel, and then on Monday we were heading back to the airport to pick up our cruise shuttle to get on our cruise. So we were doing a 4-night Bahamas cruise from Port Canaveral, and it was with the Carnival Liberty, which I never sailed with Carnival before. I know a fair few operators go to the Bahamas, like Royal Caribbean and Norwegian and all that, but I actually really wanted to try Carnival. It was a really good price, like extremely good price. For us to do this cruise was cheaper than it is to do a Mediterranean cruise in the summer. So I will be doing it again. I will definitely be flying back over to Florida to pick up another Caribbean cruise, because it's just so much cheaper than doing it from the UK with a UK cruise line. But yeah, anyway, it was really good. I really enjoyed it, and I thought Carnival were really cool. So it was much different to our P&O cruise, and it's just nice to try different companies and different experiences really. I'm very much one of these people that I love to try new things. I love to try new companies. If I don't like them, then I know not to go with them again, but I've tried it. So I really enjoy Carnival. Obviously they're a little bit on the cheaper side, so maybe it's not as lavish or, I don't know, luxury as some of the other ones, but we really don't go on holiday for that anyway. The price was right and it had everything that we wanted really. So the two photos in the middle section are of the ship. So it's a picture of Joe and I just with the whale tail that you can see on the ship, and just using some stickers just to put at the bottom. That was on our first sort of afternoon on the cruise ship. And then the second photo is a picture of me and my two friends in front of the cruise ship, with obviously where it says Carnival Liberty on the side. That was when we docked in Nassau. And just in the middle there, I'm just going to put the cruise crew cut apart, because obviously that's who we cruised with. So I had Joe and I had my two friends, which was nice. And I'm also going to use the Bahamas sticker to go on the top there. So the paper that I'm using is a really nice sort of beach themed one that had all this water and sand and stuff, and I thought the blue was quite nice to go with it, so I cut them down to fit the 4x4 pockets. This layout comes out quite nice and quite easy because of the 4x4s. A lot of my photos were 6x4s that I cut down, and then I just used some of the cut parts to fit around. It obviously just takes a little bit longer because, as I said, there's no 4x4s or 6x4s cut parts, so I had to makeshift them a little bit differently. So then on the bottom line, the photo that's going to go in the middle is a picture of Joe and I in front of the Christmas tree. So obviously it was actually sort of coming into Christmas time. I think our sailing was the first one that they had Christmas decorations on, which was really nice. So obviously had the Christmas tree, so we got as many photos as we could in front of that. So yeah, I loved doing, I love getting those photos in front of all like the, you know, the themed things. So I'm just going to use this long strip. It says let's cruise and all that sort of jazz, and I'm going to put it in 3 different sections of the layout just to be a bit more cohesive. So on all the ones that I've made my own sort of cards, I'm going to put it on there just so it matches a little bit. The one of the bottom cards, I've got a card part that's just got like a life ring, so I just put that on there just to keep it quite simple on that one. As I said, I'm going to put the strip of that let's cruise and gone cruising sort of thing on there, and then the last pocket again will have some more of that water paper alongside another cut part. So yeah, really sort of, I say simple, it doesn't look very simple, it looks quite busy, but it came together quite nicely. I was just, as I said, excited to use up some of this collection. So there is a lot of destinations in this collection, so some of them I don't know whether we'll actually cruise to those destinations, but I'm sure I'll find something to use them for. There's quite a few just cruise ships, or you know, welcome aboard and bon voyage and all that, so it's very versatile. And yeah, it was just nice to use a cruise collection. I was toying on whether to use a travel collection, a cruise collection, or a Christmas collection, because obviously it's travelling and it was also coming into Christmas. But I thought, well, the chances are more likely obviously to do more Christmas stuff than cruise stuff, and I do travel a lot more than just cruises, so that's why I settled on a cruise one, and I'm glad I did. As I said, it's nice to use it up, otherwise it would have been sat in my stash, went for another cruise, which I don't know when we'll go on another one just yet. So yeah, I wanted to make the most of it whilst I could. The title card, all I do on that one, I use a sticker that says Bon Voyage, and get my glittery blue alphas to put week 48. And yeah, so yeah, we was on the cruise from Monday to Friday, so this pretty much just does Sunday, Monday, and sort of Tuesday, not really, because Tuesday was actually in Nassau, and I do take a lot more photos, so the next layout will be a lot more of the destinations and where we went and what we got up to sort of thing for the rest of the week. We actually went to, when we got off the cruise ship on the Friday, we headed over to Daytona Beach, so we spent an afternoon there and things, so there's a few more photos, and obviously I will be doing a full travel album when I get round to it. I am just starting my Porto album, which we went to Porto in May 2023, so I am quite behind, and I'm yet to get onto my Canada album, which is 500 photos worth of a trip, so that is going to be huge, and that is 3 albums that I'll be doing for that one. So yeah, I know I'm not going to get round to doing this holiday just yet, but it's nice to be able to put it in my project life, and I am looking forward to putting the collection together. I put a video up on my channel a few days ago of just all the bits and pieces that I collected from this trip, because on cruise ships they actually sell scrapbooking stuff in the photo section, so I do have that to look forward to using, because I want to use that for this trip really, because I bought it on that trip, and it is designed to be for cruising and for the Caribbean and stuff like that. I want to use that whilst I can, so that will be going towards my travel album when I get around to it. But yeah, so as I said, I'm just on with my Porto album, so hopefully that won't be too long, and obviously now that it's like nearly January, I don't see myself being too busy, so I might be able to actually get through this album a bit quicker than I did Estonia. So I'm just going to put week 48 on here, and you can see I've makeshifted a lot of the letters. The K is made out of like an L and a 1, which I just have to do nowadays, otherwise you just never get through any of them. So I don't mind makeshifting, as long as you know it doesn't look too obvious that it's makeshift, then yeah, it looks absolutely fine. So I'm just going to use one of the little 2x2 cutter parts just to put on the side there, and then I'm going to stamp my dates, and I do put a little anchor as well at the top just to add a little bit to it. And that's pretty much everything for this part of the week. As I said, it was a really fun week. The only thing I would say on my travel album is that I will be doing 2 separate albums, because I'll be doing one for Florida and one for the cruise. That's because I know I'll be going back to Florida, so I want to do an album on Florida, so this will be Florida part 1 sort of thing, and then I'll do a cruise album of the Bahamas separately. So yeah, lots and lots of albums. I've done a quick update on what sort of albums are yet to come on my channel, so hopefully you're looking forward to those, and I'm looking forward to working on them as I go on, alongside all my wedding stuff as well. So hope you've enjoyed this part, and I'll be back shortly. Thank you very much. Bye.